Welcome to the An English Coffee Office. Today is Thursday, January 15, and like every morning, David and Alex are at the coffee machine.
Morning, Alex. Please tell me this machine is actually working today.
Good morning, David. It is working, but it is taking its sweet time.
As long as it produces something black and caffeinated, I am happy.
Rough start to the morning?
You have no idea. The traffic on the highway was an absolute nightmare.
It usually is. I barely made it in for my 8:30 call.
I was sitting there for 20 minutes without moving an inch.
That sounds frustrating.
It was. I was stressing about meeting my sales quotas while staring at a bumper sticker.
Well, at least you are here now. Grab a cup and relax for a second.
Definitely. I need to wake up before my team meeting at 10.
Is that the weekly sales review?
Yes. And I have to present the figures for Q4.
You will do fine. You always manage to pull it off.
I hope so. By the way, speaking of sales and markets, did you see the news in the Wall Street Journal?
Which article? I only skimmed the headlines this morning.
The one about trade. Mexico overtakes China as top U.S. trade partner for second consecutive year.
Oh, right. I saw that notification pop up yesterday, January 12th.
It is huge for us, especially for the logistics department.
It makes sense. We have been talking about nearshoring for a while now.
Exactly. Moving production closer to home is finally paying off.
From a project management perspective, it simplifies things significantly.
How so?
Well, shorter supply chains mean fewer delays. It is easier to manage deadlines.
And cheaper shipping costs, which makes my job selling the product easier.
True. Dealing with time zones in Asia was always a headache for coordination.
Tell me about it. I do not miss those 3 a.m. conference calls.
Neither do I. So, do you think this trend will stick?
The article says it is likely to continue through 2030.
That gives us some stability for long-term planning.
Precisely. I might actually pitch a new strategy based on this at the meeting.
That sounds like a solid plan. Just make sure you have the data to back it up.
Always, I never go into a battle unarmed.
Speaking of battles, did you hear about the breakthrough in aviation?
You mean the air taxi thing?
Yes, USA Today reported it on January 13.
FAA approves first fully autonomous air taxi routes in Dallas and Miami.
That is the one. It feels like science fiction is finally becoming reality.
I read that too. Imagine hopping in one of those to skip the morning traffic.
It would certainly solve your commute problem.
I would pay good money to fly over that gridlock.
It is fascinating technology. Vertical takeoff and landing could change urban planning.
But are they safe? That is the million-dollar question.
The article mentioned they passed 5,000 hours of safety testing without a pilot.
That is impressive, but I am not sure I want to be the first one to try it.
I am with you there. I prefer to keep my feet on the ground for now.
Still, for business travel, it could be a game changer.
Absolutely. Getting from the airport to downtown in 10 minutes instead of an hour?
That equals more time for client meetings.
Or more time for coffee breaks.
I like the way you think, but the infrastructure must be a nightmare to build.
Oh, totally. As a project manager, just thinking about the zoning permits gives me a headache.
I bet. You would need landing pads on top of every skyscraper.
And air traffic control systems for low altitudes? It is complex.
Well, until they figure it out, I am stuck in my car.
Unfortunately, yes. But hey, at least you have the radio.
Actually, I have been listening to podcasts mostly. Music is getting boring.
Really? I thought you were a big music fan.
I am, but digital streaming feels so disposable lately.
That is funny you say that. It ties into another article I read in the New York Times.
Which one was that?
It came out yesterday, January 14. Vinyl records outsell streaming subscriptions for the first time since the 1980s among Gen Z.
No way, are you serious?
Completely. It seems people are craving physical media again.
That is wild. I threw out all my old records 15 years ago.
You might regret that now. They are worth a fortune.
Do not remind me. But why now? Is it just a hipster trend?
I think it is more than that. The article argues it is about ownership.
Ownership? You mean actually holding the music?
Exactly. With streaming, you just rent access. With vinyl, you own the art.
I get that. There is something satisfying about dropping the needle on a record.
And the album art? It is a tangible experience in a digital world.
True. Plus the sound quality is warmer, so they say.
It forces you to slow down too. You have to listen to the whole album.
That is a good point. We are so used to skipping tracks instantly.
It is interesting how society cycles back to old technologies.
Yeah. First it was Polaroid cameras, now this.
Maybe I should buy a turntable for the office?
That would be cool. We could play some jazz during the lunch break.
It might help lower the stress levels around here.
Definitely. Although changing the record every 20 minutes might be distracting.
Good point. Maybe we stick to the radio for the office.
Probably for the best. Hey, is that coffee done yet?
It looks like it just finished. Your turn.
Finally. I was about to fall asleep standing up.
Do not do that. We need you awake for that presentation.
Don't worry. Once this caffeine hits, I will be unstoppable.
I believe you. Just remember to send me those budget updates later.
I will. I need to run the numbers one last time.
No rush, just before the end of the day.
Will do. Are you working on the Alpha project today?
Yes, all day. We are trying to finalize the timeline.
Sounds intense. Good luck with that.
Thanks, I will need it. The client is being very demanding.
Aren't they always? Just charm them with your logic.
I will try. Anyway, I should head back to my desk.
Me too. Emails are not going to answer themselves.
Unfortunately not. Let's touch base after lunch?
Sounds like a plan. I will let you know how the meeting went.
Please do. I want to hear all about the reaction to the Mexico strategy.
Fingers crossed they like it.
They will. You are good at selling ideas.
Thanks, Alex. See you later.
See you, David. Have a good one.
Time to get to work. Don't forget to subscribe and practice your English every day. You'll see how it just keeps getting better and better. See you tomorrow. Hope you have a fantastic day.